The best investment on earth is earth. The issue of say make a person get house, make a person get land.
Property matter na serious business, so one of the best investments wey person fit get for life. You fit interact with us on top the show or talk to engineer Debo through we phone numbers wey be 08173147589 and 08105434984.
Today we'll be continuing, like Ebube said, we continue on the topic we started, the green building concept. And the last way we were talking, we promised that we'll zero in on the materials that makes for green building concept, that supports the concept of green building.
Yeah.
But maybe just as a recap, so that you can
Catch up.
follow us. Let's just talk about the green building concept a bit again.
Okay.
For those of you. So we said that for green building concept, two major things are very, very important. Okay. We are looking at sustainability and cost savings.
Okay.
That's what we are looking at. Sustainability in the way that it does not impact on the earth too much. It does not cause or continue to cause degradation in a way that we don't want. Controlled, better controlled kind of effects. So environmental impact assessment and all of that are very important. And also it reduces the cost of operating or living in a house, or managing a property or stuff like that. Those are the two major things that are looked at when we are talking about green building concept. And then maybe to just break it down, there are 4 concerns that you have. So number 1, sustainable energy sources.
Okay.
Sustainable energy sources. This is one of the ways by which you achieve these major 2 things we are talking about. So when you're talking about green building concept, you're looking at where you can get energy that is in a sustainable way. There is this shout about diesel, petrol type of fueling, and we are going into fuel formats that are more eco-friendly, and all of those things. So green building concept helps you to explore those areas where you can get fuel in a way that is not so damaging to the earth.
Okay.
So that's one. Number 2, the conversion of it also. The conservation, of the energy. How do you conserve it? Okay? In what way do you conserve it? These are the things you will also be looking at. The source of it, the conservation of it also. Very, very important. Then, the reuse and safety of the building materials. The building materials, are they reusable? Then are they safe?
Okay.
When they are not reusable, the challenge is that once you use it, you've used it. It means if you need to do another building, you have to produce another, which would mean that you need a lot of those things to be produced. But if they are reusable, it reduces the need to have to produce and the effect of that, So, and then are they safe?
Okay.
It's not just that they reusable, but are they safe, So all of safety is looked at, reusability is also looked at. Then the 4th one is where you site this building, where you site the property. Is it such that the impact, you have consideration for the impact? What is the level of the impact, environmental impact assessment? And that's how it came up, okay? It is in the concept of green building and being conscious, in concept of sustainability, that building environmental impact assessment came up. So I'm sure that maybe next time we'll also talk about collapse building, because in the news there has been this occurrence again, or a notable occurrence again in the last 1 week or so.
Last week.
Yeah. So, but we'll talk about that next week. I just wanted to wrap up on this that we've been discussing. So, knowing those 4 major issues, the materials that we should consider that support the concept of green building more. Okay, fine. So, recycling. When you look at recycling, you'll be able to get materials that can support green building concept more. Because remember, I talked about reusability, their safety and their reusability. So, which materials can be recycled to be used? Either they are used in building already, or they are used in other places, but they can be recycled to now be used in building. When you talk about that, then you'll be identifying some materials. I don't know if it will shock you, but do you know that papers can be used in building? Okay, yes, they can be used because if you look at it, paper comes from wood. I hope we know that. You know, paper comes from wood. All these paper, tissue paper, and all of those, they come originally from wood.
Yes.
And if you continue to just use papers and we discard them, you know, one by paper, you know, we discard them. If we just throw them away, and then the printing press, the book publishing houses, they continue to just, print new ones. That means the people who supply the materials they use in making papers will continue to just cut down new trees and all of those. So the earth degradation will be a lot, will be at a higher rate. But if we find a way to reuse, so there are ways that you can reuse paper now. In fact, there are productions that convert paper to what they call wood paper.
Okay.
Okay. And you can use those woods to build.
Interesting.
Or in your building material, in use on your site to build as building material. And that is a green concept. That is a concept that supports the green building concept that we are talking about. You know, the reusability of paper. So paper is one. Then plastic. Plastic and all those petrol-related kind of byproducts. You know, you can imagine if we find a very good use for pure water sachet. You can imagine if we find a very good use. The issue of what we experience with our drainages.
Yes.
You know, the impact, we talked about impact. The issue of what we experience with our drainages, the issue of the fact that, because it's not degradable. They don't turn into soil
they
like
don't
that.
Melt, yes.
You know, they don't degrade like that. So you need to find another use for them. And they found very good use for them in building. So there are people who make those waste, those plastic waste, into blocks right now, into building blocks. They just compress the waste, the plastic waste, and make them into block. And those blocks have very good characteristics as compared to even the normal concrete blocks that we use for construction. And they use them for construction now. And then there are those that is not even, they don't even compress. They use the plastics themselves. I've seen designs and buildings, even in Nigeria, where plastics are used. All these plastics for drinks and all of those things, for water and all, they are used to build houses. Those are things that are supporting the green building concept because they are helping us to reduce, you know, the effects of those wastes in finding uses for them in the construction site. You know, so that's that. Then cork. Wine cork.
Okay.
You understand? That's another very good material. Do you know? I'm sure you can relate to how strong that material is. You know, and you know it's from wood. It's also a wood. It's actually like the bark of a wood. There is a wood called cork oak. Actually, it's a oak tree, but it's cork oak, and it's from just the bark
that they
make that they get this cork that they use. And for the funniest thing is that for cork to be produced, you don't have to fell any tree.
Can just,
you understand? It's the bark.
Yeah.
You just peel that bark, and every 9 years you can do the same. Do you understand? For the same tree.
Yeah.
You know, and that material is very, very durable, very, very strong, very, very eco-friendly. You understand? And it is used in construction. It is used in building houses. Okay, so that's another material. This one, biogas.
Okay.
These days, we've come to realize that, you know, our typical sockaway.
Yeah.
I know. Do you know that from that sockaway, we can get energy? You remember the concept I talked about? We can get energy to power our gen.
Wow.
To cook for our cooking gas, rather than just let it waste away. The biogas, the bio waste can be processed in a way that they will come back to provide these things. for the house.
Interesting.
And that will make the construction or the building energy. You know, we talked about energy in terms of the cost of it, the storage of it, conservation, and the use of it. So it will make it really, really green friendly. Okay, when we just don't do sockaway for the sake of sockaway and they then come and empty the sockaway, take it to the lagoon wherever they empty it. You know, if every house, for example, can have the process that converts their sockaway and produces cooking gas from it, for example, do you understand? Or produces gas that powers their gen from it. And there are local artisans, okay, or technical people that are doing that now in this country. Yes, it's not even like something.
It's not a big deal.
No, it is. I mean, I know that there are some universities, for example, that have been doing some research on it. The university I went to, for example, and I know some of these new generation or private universities, Backup, for example, I know, and I think Unilori, where they've done some research, you know, on all of these things, and it's already in use in the industry. What I mean by that is there are people who now have these skills to be able to turn your sockaway, okay, do it in such a way that it will generate cooking gas for you.
Wow.
So that would mean that you would have less waste to, you understand, to offload to the environment.
This is where you just talk safe now.
Environment degradation.
This is where you just talk safe now. Can be like job opportunity for some people.
Of course, there are people who should be able to learn that skills now and include it in part of the services they offer. Yes. I know a couple of people, okay, who do this, okay, now. So that's another material kind of a thing that also helps in the green building concept. Laterite, you know, laterite, red sand.
Okay, yes.
Red sand, you know, or what you call mud. Ile Alamo, the mud houses you see in the village, they are being researched to, and it's been realized that they are better material as compared to other concrete material, for example, to build houses. They are better. Take, for example, when they are now processed, when the red sand is now processed into a laterite block, it's even a lot better. When you see houses that are constructed with mud or laterite block, you would realize that for example, for our tropic area, in the dry season, when the weather is very hot, when you get into those homes, they are cool. Meaning that you will need less energy to condition the air in that house. Do you understand? If you have fan, if you have AC, you won't be using it as much as if you go and say, for example, in a container house or in a normal concrete house.
Container house, unless it wants to roast.
You know, do you understand? Or you do some kind of, housing type that maybe all this porter cabin, you use tarpaulin for your roof and all of that. It will be more heated. You need more energy to cool the room as compared to this other area. Then those concrete, those lateral blocks have been known to be bulletproof.
Debo would take us through the last part of this whole property matter for today.
Yes, so we were talking about the laterites being bulletproof. It also more fire resistant. So there are a lot of benefits that comes with, some of these materials that makes them to be better as compared to the materials that are now common. So that is it for laterite, or you say clay, or you say mud, okay? But these are materials that are very green in terms of green concept. Then there is the concept of green roof.
Okay.
The concept of green roof. Now, green roof does not mean like
the roof is color green.
Does not mean that the roof is color green. Or when it is green building, it means the building is color green. No. So the concept of green roof is, have you seen roofs that they have gardens on them? Yes. You've seen them? Yes. That's green roof concept. Those kind of roof, they better insulate the house. Do you understand? Because
I always wonder, like, why do people have plants on top of their...
So that's green roof concept, where you can even turn your roof to a garden.
A mini garden, yes.
A garden such that it better insulates the house in terms of heat and all of those things, you would need less temperature. I mean, you need less control, power to control, energy to control, or to regulate the temperature of the room and all of that. So that's the green roof concept, wherein you have some greenery, you have some garden, you plant some things on your roof. So your roof actually becomes a farm ground, you know, and it helps. If you've seen homes where even around them, not even just their building, even their walls, you will have seen some. They have gardens around it. They create a structure where they can put all those small pot gardens and all around it, so that all you see is just green, you know. If you don't want to enter that house, the kind of peace